Skye Squad, we are back in the building. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye, and let me tell you something. We got some things to talk about today. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna be here for this Porsha story, the update that we got, and we're gonna give it to you. Just be patient, but we want to get into Kim Zolciak and Wendy Williams first, and then let a few more people come up into the room, and then we're gonna talk about the Porsha thing. And don't worry, these news items for Wendy Williams and the good Kim Zolciak will be quick. Now, Kim is calling out that good Bravo TV, but I think it has a little bit more to do with the fact that that show is canceled. Or is it? Kim says otherwise. Kim says it ain't canceled. Y'all better stop with this canceling ish, okay? And Wendy Williams and her ex are at war. Okay, they are going back and forth at it in the press. Okay, so we got to talk about it. Shout out to my girl Mountain Kitty for putting me on to the fact that Wendy Williams was going off on her show today. Okay, and then we're going to get into the Porsha situation. But let me know in the chatterization where you guys are watching from. I see we got Madison, Wisconsin in the good His House. We got the 757 up in the building. Who else we got up in here? We got Metro Detroit. Hey, Paris in the house. Solomon's Island, Maryland. Love from Vegas. Fort Lauderdale in the building. Connecticut. Who else we got up in here? Chicago. Hey, y'all got to go to Chicago at the end of June. We got West Hartford, Connecticut. We got Canada up in the building. Sacramento, Oakland. We got Bowie down the street. Okay, we got Chi-Town. Who said they hope I feel better? Somebody said they hope I feel better. And guess what, y'all? I do. Let me tell y'all something. That Benadryl-like medication that I took, it took me out after that last video last night. And let me tell you something, I slept like a baby because y'all know that Benadryl is going to take you out. It's going to take you out. Who else? We got Trinidad and Tobago. We got the 2, 5, and the 6 up in the building. Who else? Georgia, South Wales, UK, Compton. Hey, St. Vincent, Colorado, Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas, I will see y'all in just a couple of days. Hey, come on, Arkansas, Orange County. Let's get into the business, okay? We got to talk about Kim Zolciak first, okay? Because y'all know I told y'all the other day that show was canceled. Well, Kim said, no, it's not, okay? No, it's not, okay? Despite the fact that it is canceled, okay? She's screaming that it's not. Let me tell you why, okay? Let's get into it, all right? So anyway, the U.S. Sun had posted Kim's show Don't Be Tardy canceled by Bravo TV after 8 seasons. The Sun Entertainment post, okay? And so Kim retweeted it and said, stop with the canceled ish, okay? Now, girl, you was in a river called denial, okay? You are swimming down a river called denial, and I just want to let you know, okay? Let me tell you what she had to say on her IG story. She said, Don't Be Tardy isn't coming back, duh. But the Bierman Bunch is. You will see us on your TV screen very soon. I love you guys so much and appreciate all your support. Now, let me tell you what I think is about to occur here, okay? Now, it's a couple of different possibilities that this show could actually come to fruition because she can't keep that name, okay? Because I'm assuming that probably belongs to Bravo, right? So she got to try to change it up to the Bierman Bunch. Now, at the end of the day, Bierman is not as recognized as Zolciak, but whatever the case may be, who cares? That's just my opinion. Let me give you guys where I think this show might go if you guys want to see it, because I think it's about 10 of y'all that might want to see this show, okay? You might want to see this show, and I'm not hating on nobody's hustle. Shout out to Kim Zolciak for having that show on for 8 seasons that nobody I know was watching, okay? That is some kind of miracle right there, okay? Anyway, but what I think it could go is it could go on the Peacock streaming service, which I did get. Let me tell you why I got it, because one, y'all know they're going to have Housewives All-Stars on there, and then Real Housewives of Miami is going to be there, and then Murder, She Wrote, all 12 seasons is on the Peacock TV, okay? So I had to get Peacock TV just for that. But anyway, I think it could go onto that Peacock TV, or it could go on E, okay? Or she might just have to put it on YouTube, okay? Okay? She might have to put it on the YouTube because I don't know who else is watching this show. That's just what I got to say. And somebody said the Zeus. Maybe it's going to go to the Zeus. Now, I don't, for some reason, now I don't know about it, but you know, maybe somebody gonna pick it up. I feel like somebody was watching it. I just don't know who. You know what I'm saying? But the Peacock is free, so you can go ahead and get your subscription on. Just give them your email address. You know what I'm saying? Or give them whatever email address that you give all your spam people to, or whatever. But anyway, I digress. There's another reason why she is calling out the Bravo, and let me tell you why. Okay, real quick, let me give you the information. Now, this is a very weird situation right here, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it to you in an abbreviated format because I don't even know if I explain it correctly if you're going to really get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it took me a minute to understand what was going on myself because it didn't make sense. And maybe that's my problem. I'm trying to make sense of something that just don't make sense. Well, nevertheless, here we are. We're going to go through what she posted on her Instagram story, okay? Now, apparently, when Brielle did the Children's Edition Mother's Day special on Watch What Happens Live, there was something that was going on with Brielle. So I guess she had just sadly lost one of her good friends in some type of, you know, I don't know what happened. The friend passed in some way, shape, or form. And we're going to read her statement here where she calls out Bravo. She says, my baby Brielle was scheduled to do a pre-show call with Watch What Happens Live Friday, April 9th, the day of Ethan's, her best friend of many years, who tragically passed while they were out enjoying life on the 3rd. It was his funeral. It was obviously postponed, which she appreciated very much. You can't effing tell me that nobody knew this information the day of filming. She filmed 3 days later. It was nationwide. Not once was Ethan's death mentioned or considered. My baby sat there with a brave face, not saying a word, trying to stay strong. Not 5 minutes before she was on my shoulder in tears. I will say that Bravo Andy did text me a week later apologizing, saying he was unaware of the situation. I don't expect Andy to know. He has an entire team that should know. You guys know how I feel. Mess with me, fine. Mess with my kids is an entirely different story. I raised some strong girls, and I am proud of her. Now, let me say this. Okay. I did not know about the friend Ethan, and so it may have made the news. However, you know, her appearance on Watch What Happens Live was an appearance that was scheduled with a lot of other Bravo kids. So for me, I was confused as to why this even came up. You know, it is very sad that he passed, and we wish them all condolences. But I don't necessarily know that it was to be Bravo TV's, you know, if it needed to come up during their discussion. You know what I'm saying? And to be quite frank with you, it just doesn't make sense to me. None of this makes sense to me. And it doesn't make sense why she feels like they are coming after her kids. For what reason? I don't understand, because they didn't mention Ethan. And again, it's a very tragic situation. But if it was the case that Brielle was in such a state of duress, it probably wasn't in her best interest to do the show. That's my thought. I mean, you know, I feel like it is sad that she lost someone, but if she was that distraught, she didn't have to do it, right? But also, too, I don't know that them not mentioning it was a slight or a dig at Kim or Brielle. I just don't understand it. And so I also feel like, you know, and I'm gonna jump back on the screen for this. When you're doing appearances and when you're doing interviews and stuff like that, you know, it is up to you to express the things that you want to say and get across in your messaging. And a lot of times, this is why celebrities, reality stars, singers, musicians, business owners work with PR people so that they can instruct them on the best way to get messaging across when they are doing interviews. So if this was something, and I wish that she had maybe had the PR skills to simply say, you know what, Andy, this is I want to celebrate the memory of my friend who we just lost as I say this, and give you the response to whatever question that I'm giving you. I'm going through a lot right now, but I am here. You know what I'm saying? I guess that to me it's the onus is on her and the family to make a decision whether or not to speak about it or not even participate so that you can deal with the situation that you need to deal with. That's all I got to say. And I feel like she's more or less calling her out. Again, this is a tragic situation, but I feel like she's more or less, the feeling might be there because the fact that the show has been canceled. Okay. So that's my thought on the situation. And that is the reason why Kim is calling out Bravo TV. And again, it's confusing. I don't understand it. It's very strange to me. But yes, Andy did reach out to them after the interview. So it's kind of like, what are we doing here? How were they messing with her? I just didn't get it. Let's move on because, that subject it just drained me. Okay. Bruce says it's been reported her oldest daughter, Brielle, is joining Summer House this season. Listen. I have never seen that show, to be honest with you. Now, the people say it's real good, though. The people say it's real good, but I just ain't seen it myself, okay? It reminded me of Vanderpump Rules. It gave me that feeling, and I just wasn't really a fan of Vanderpump Rules because, honestly, I will watch shows that when it's not any Black people on it, I will. But it just didn't appeal to me because I don't see anybody. Sometimes I need to see somebody that looks like me. I do, and I would like it. Representation, especially where it makes sense. And it just felt like one of those shows that up until this season really wasn't that diverse. So I was like, I don't want to see this. But I might take a chance on it and try to watch this past season because everybody said it was so good. Okay. Moving right on along. We're going to get into Wendy Williams, okay? She and Mike are now seemingly at the war, okay? I'm going to see if I can pull up the correct file. Oh, we're not going to talk about that one right now. That's coming up in a second. Give me 1 second, y'all. That's that Porsha situation. I think it's this one. Let me see if I can. Oh, yes. So, shout out to my girl, Mountain Kitty, for alerting me to this story. And you can find it all over the place at this point. Okay? Now, yesterday I told y'all how Wendy Williams had been, and the man had broken up, okay? And so he apparently had given that information to Page Six, okay? Shana Martin, Murder, She Wrote. This is the work of the Lord. Yes. Oh, yes. Yo, let me tell you something. I'm a murder, Oh, wait. I could digress. Shana, thank you so much for that super chat. Let me get to this Wendy Williams story. I'm going to come back to Murder, She Wrote later. But you own the money, girl. Okay, so listen. So the man had went to the Page Six or whatever. So Wendy Williams did not like that, right? And so, because she got her show, she can address what she want to address. Now, I told y'all yesterday, I was like, that situation, it seemed made for TV anyway. So I don't really get, why there was any statement made anyway. But I guess to follow the course of the relationship and to make this all seem more real, he had to go to the press and let us know. It's over, okay? So Wendy Williams didn't like it. So as you guys can see from the title here, it says Wendy Williams refers to Mike Esterman as a child as she reacts to breakup reports. And she says we were never boyfriend and girlfriend. So let me just get into the story. Let's get into it. This is Wendy and this is Mike, okay? So the story is this, okay? She says that and this is today's show. She says, I didn't say anything publicly about this situation because I'm that grown. We would have had this discussion way behind the scenes. She says, I'm not embarrassed because I'm that grown. But since childish ones Mike, well, he's giving quotes, okay? So that's why she now feel like she got to speak on it, okay? She said, Mike is in Maryland. You guys keep asking, where's Mike? I'm like, Mike has a job. He's a contractor / social influencer, and whatever he has going on, whatever he does, okay? She says, Mike is a nice guy, but we are too geographically far apart from each other. Can you imagine me leaving here right now and getting in a car and traveling 4 hours? I thought that maybe something could happen because we're grown people. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can hear how Wendy be talking. You know what I'm saying? So then, for Mike, what he ended up coming back to page 6 with today, after he heard that comment, he says that, of course, she had to have the last word because she's just that kind of person that she is. She's the only thing that will make herself look best. Okay. Then he says that he's too busy to be worrying about this. Okay. And he said, all I said was that I had no time to make any plans when people kept asking me when we would see each other again. And they took that as a major breakup, which I didn't even think that we had that big of a relationship to begin with, other than getting to know each other on a few dates. And Wendy, of course, basically said on her show that they were never even in a relationship, that they were just like talking. They never had no relationship to begin with. So she didn't understand why he was going to speak into page 6. Now, let me hop back on the screen. Okay. Wendy girl, let's talk about it for a second. Now, I could go back through Instagram and see, or I can actually go back through your show history and see all the times you was talking about canoodling and hanging out with this man, okay? And I know I'm not the only one here, okay, who can do that. And so my thought is this, granted, y'all might have just been talking or courting, as the people say, from back in the day. Y'all done heard that term, courting, okay? Courting. Deborah says, what is page 6? I'm about to send you the link since some people may not be familiar with page 6. Now, they might have been courting, okay? But at the end of the day, I feel like y'all been throwing this situation up in our faces. So if y'all yes, we got a right to know about it because you have made it a thing for all of us to dive into. You made this whole relationship as a part of your show. So you don't think we deserve to know when it ended? Okay. You don't think we deserve to know? I feel like we deserve to know because you have involved us now in this whole situation. You have made us a part of it. So absolutely, when it's over, you need to let us know. And now you can downplay the relationship all you want to, okay? But what I will say is this, stop posting and putting all that stuff on social media and stuff like that, and then making it a part of the show if you really don't want us to know what's going on, okay? Okay? All right. That's what I got to say about that. We're going to move on along, okay? We're going to move on along. We're going to talk about your girl, Porsha, okay? Porsha and Simon got a little new update on that situation. Let me pull it up right now. Now, I told y'all yesterday about the girl who had been running around. Well, not really running around. Let me not say that. I don't want to say it like that. She had basically been, as of yesterday, kind of come out and said, hey, I too had been seeing that good Simon Guobadia. Okay. Now we showed y'all pictures and everything in video of her as she talked about her experiences with him. And so now she is doing interviews to give us a little bit more detail about the nature of their courtship. Okay. And so to summarize, because she's done at least 2 separate interviews that I have seen. One is with the Jasmine brand, who we do love. So let's go ahead and show some love on their post right here. And another one was on Baller Alert. Now, I know a lot of you guys were tagging me on that today. And so I figured we would go ahead and talk about it. Oh, I'm sorry. I just got distracted with some more news that just dropped. So basically what she details in these interviews is how they met at a bar. You know, she was with her friends. They ended up going back to her house. Okay. This was, I guess, at the end of March. Now, if Porsha was saying that they started dating a month ago, to yesterday was what day was yesterday? The 11th, the 10th or the 11th. That's when I started to break. So we go back to April the 10th. I'm gonna give you a month. That's exactly 1 month. Okay. Now this girl apparently was with him at least from March 30th up until at least about a week or two ago, she says. And, you know, she talked about how he came over after they all went out and hung out with her and her best friend. The next day was when, you know, he had said that he wanted to go for a ride in his new Ferrari. And she said, well, come pick me up, boo. So when he picked her up, he is the one that was taking the videos that she showed us from her page, okay, that I showed y'all on the Shade Room. So there was that. But apparently they were just, now she claims she didn't answer any questions about whether or not they slept together, but she claims that they were talking and he was sending her money for trips and this, that, and the third, up until the point where I guess maybe about 2 weeks ago, where she says that things kind of just cooled off. And then she texted him on Mother's Day because I guess she saw him hanging with Porsha. And then he texted her back and said, Happy Mother's Day. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, listen, here's my thing. She sounded credible. I mean, at least from what I was hearing, her story sounded the same each time she told it. Okay. So there was that. Her best friend was there, co-signing everything, you know, kind of giving extra details and whatnot. And I think for her, what she is trying to convey to people is that, one, she was talking to him around the same time that Porsha was apparently falling in love. Okay. She never knew anything about Porsha. She did know that he was in the process of getting a divorce, so that it was not finalized, as Fallon also indicated yesterday, that apparently is not finalized. And that the whole Porsha situation to her came out of nowhere. She also talks about Porsha coming at her on social media, which I did not see, but she also alleges that there was some back and forth between her and Porsha on social media, from what I gathered from both of these interviews. She also sort of insinuates that there may have been other women as well that Simon was allegedly talking to during this at least month-long period that she kind of knew him, that he was at her house crying and stuff like that. And also that the stuff that he was saying about what Fallon was doing were things that he was doing himself. Now, if you go back through his live, you will see that he talked about some things that made him feel like the two people in the relationship that he was in were not equally yoked. And so there were things that he was indicating that one person was doing that was making her not evenly yoked with him. Now, this young lady here is saying that he is doing those things himself. So while he's preaching on the Friday chats, he doing something different. Now, what I will say is this. As I listen to this story, okay, what I gather is this. Now, it sounds like one of those situations where it's two consenting adults. They decide to, talk and meet up and yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm going to come back on the screen for a quick second because I need to say this. When I initially am talking to someone anyway, I always assume that they're talking to 2 or 3 other people, because usually there is one on the way in, there is one in the middle, and usually there is one on the way out. Okay. I have always heard this about, getting into relations with people. And so I've learned to just use my best judgment when I'm just starting to talk to somebody. Okay. So typically, and I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, when you meet somebody, because I want you to take this with you into your next situation that you kind of get into when you meet somebody new. There is usually one on the way in. There's usually one that's a mainstay, and there's usually one on the way out. Now you just got to figure out which one you are to that person. Okay. Now, if they knew, you probably the one on the way in. So you could probably already suspect that there's one already that's a mainstay, and then there's one probably that's going to be pushed out the way because ain't nobody got time to be talking to all three people. You know what I'm saying? 3, 4, 5 people. It's just too much work. It's too much work, especially if you're a busy man. And he sounds busy to me. Okay. He sounds real busy. I mean, he got these businesses, these restaurants, new Ferrari, a whole divorce, kids and everything. So I look at it like this. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, I know how guys do. You know what I'm saying? And so because I know how guys do, I also know that especially any of my female friends, my female family members, I always give them that same advice, especially about guys. Now, women may have one on the way in, one in the middle, and one on the way out too. You just never know. But I'm just saying it's best to always go into any situation with the understanding that there might be something occurring in the mix, right? This is why you want to take your time in situations when you meeting somebody. And this is in regards to Porsha, because at the end of the day, what you have to know is in a month's time, you don't really know where you fall in to that scenario, right? And so you want to kind of be aware that anybody that was on the way out is all the way out. And that usually takes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It usually takes a couple of months. So that's why I feel like for most of us, we're looking at this with a little bit of like, whoa. So this doesn't shock me that he was in a situation with this young lady. That's not shocking to me at all, because I understand how things work. It makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's the optics of it that I feel like, oh, Porsha, I don't know if you know what you get into, girl. That's kind of where I'm seeing it at. But that's just me. And my own little piece of advice that I would impart to anybody. Brandon Gant with the super chat says that young lady was looking for money just like Porsha. I believe her story, but Porsha put it on lock. The situation is dubious for all involved. These people aren't in love. They are making money in sex transactions. Woo, Brandon. Let me tell you something. We're going to write a book, okay? We're going to write a book on this subject right here. Love and relationships in reality, boy. I'm going to write it. I feel like I'm going to write it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for that super chat. We got another super chat in the building. Nezzy Porter, who says, this is so messy. I guess Porsha and Shamir wanted matching her. Oh. Thank you for that super chat. So, to me, that's how I'm looking at this whole situation through my own personal lens, with the young lady that's come out and basically told her story or whatever. No telling where it's going to go or what's going to come from that. But, we'll see how things continue to progress in this new relationship. With these, sort of new, some of the things that are being alleged or whatever. I'm gonna give the man the benefit of the doubt, but I still side eye this situation a little bit. But let me tell you what Porsha had to say. Oh, Amani Eat says, stop dating men for love. It's dumb. Thank you for the super chat. One more thing I want to pull up to show you guys, to give you guys an idea of Porsha's mindset with all this. And I think it's kind of funny. And it's probably the best or the most positive aspect to the most positive way to look at this whole situation. And shout out to Miss Shelly G for the super chat. Love. Amen. God bless you. Okay. God bless you. Thank you so much for that super chat. We got another one from let me make sure. Am I pronouncing this right? Oh, we got Amani East who says, keep your options open and your legs closed. Y'all so silly. Felicia says, the live he did was a sticky note, a setup to release this info. I remember wondering why the F he was doing a live about his divorce. Now we know. Boom. You better shake the room, boo. You better shake the room on that one. We got another one from Camilla who says, has anyone checked on Dennis? I know he died on the inside. Well, listen, the last time we had seen Dennis, Simon was lighting his cigar on Mother's Day. So I don't really know what is to make how Dennis feel about this. Perhaps Dennis has moved on too, okay? Because according to the show and what we had seen, apparently, listen, he had been the first person to cheat. So at this point in time, what he get is what he get. You know what I'm saying? We got another one from Blazing Cajun who says, honey, I've lost tons of respect. I tried to give her another chance. Porsha will do anything for a storyline and a check. The chick is thirsty. Girl, you are a mother now. Bad example to set for PJ. Keep serving us this piping hot tea. I'm sipping. Hey, thank you so much, Blazing Cajun. Thank you for the love. We appreciate it. We appreciate you sowing into the kingdom. Amen. Come on now. So let's get into this post that she made, y'all. So somebody had posted this on, I guess on either Instagram or Twitter, and Porsha reposted it. And this is kind of why I like Porsha, because I feel like sometimes she can be silly about this craziness that's going on right now. So January we had the insurrection. In February we had Gorilla Glue. In March we had the royal drama. In April, I don't even know what this is. Can somebody tell me what the April one is? I don't even know what the April one is. What is it? What's the April one? Because I can't tell it. Samantha Smith says, baby, at least let the ink dry on the paper. Amen. Amen. You do know you have the option to say no, or at least not yet. Hide your husband, hide your wife. That's it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat. But then she put May, her and Simon. Now, let's take it a step further though, because she wrote this. If you don't give a dang and we don't give an F was a couple, okay, that's who they would be. I said, oh, it was the double homicide. That was the one from Jocelyn. Okay. Listen, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Comparing notes, coworkers still to come for comfort. Yeah, I think it's too close for comfort for me as well. Even if we are coworkers, let me find somebody else. Cara Smith says, Fallon wanted to use Porsha to get on Housewives. Meanwhile, Porsha was using Fallon to stay on Housewives. Kara, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Y'all gotta admit. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Queen B, I wonder what June will bring. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Or maybe I do. Maybe we're going to all laugh together. Who knows? Right. She definitely trolling people. She is definitely trolling. I can't wait to see what happens next, y'all. I cannot wait to see what happens next. But anyway, y'all, this is the show for today. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the super chat. Mods, thank you so much. Everybody who commented, thank you so much for tuning in and giving your opinion and thoughts on this every situation that we talked about today. Y'all know we will be back tomorrow around the same bat time, same bat channel. Sign up for the Texas community so I can let you guys know exactly when we're going to go live. I'm actually going to be starting an email list as well, just because I want to have a backup to the text message to let you guys know about some other things that I'm doing as well. So as soon as I have that information, I will actually post that so you guys can sign up to the email list as well. With that being said, I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. And y'all remember something. I love y'all.